What's up, everybody? It's Roger, Working Man Cigars. And tonight, I've been looking forward to this cigar. I'm finally going to be getting the chance to smoke this cigar. I only have one, and this was sent over to me thanks to my Cigars Unbanded friends who sent this one over. And I didn't just want to smoke it. I didn't just want to smoke it. I wanted to do an overview, so I was kind of saving it for that. This is the Knuckle Sandwich Chef Special 25. All right, draw is nice and good. I tested it earlier with the, I tested the RH, and the RH was 62, which, I mean, I like them around 62. Now, this is one thing I found out is that I tend to like cigars a little bit on the drier side, but it doesn't mean that I like every cigar dry. I've realized that some cigars are better with a little bit higher RH. You kind of figure that out as you smoke them, so you kind of have to smoke more than one. So hopefully this one smoked a little bit better on the drier side, which 60, 61, 62 is not crazy dry, but, and I'm not showing the cigar because I already don't get, ever since I stopped posting, I get like very little views. And I know some of the guys have been having trouble getting their videos age restricted right off the bat, and it tends to have something to do when they're smoking the cigar and lighting it and showing the cigar, so I'm just not going to do that. On that talk about the RH, another funny thing is somebody was telling me this about the Ocean Breeze, the Lambert Ocean Breeze, because people were saying how good that cigar is, and I've enjoyed that cigar. I've smoked that cigar. I remember when everybody's saying how good they are. I bought a 5-pack. Sal gave me one when I met up with him once, and then guys have sent me Ocean Breezes, and I've smoked them all, and I've always smoked them on the really, really drier side, like I like most of my cigars. And even though I've enjoyed that cigar, I never thought like, this cigar is so great, this cigar is amazing, like a lot of people had said. And I thought maybe it just wasn't, not that it wasn't for me, because again, every time I say this about a very well-liked cigar, everybody comes out with like, Roger hates this cigar. It's like, I don't hate the cigar, I just don't love it as much as other people do. And then finally a few people started telling me like, bro, you got to smoke that at a higher RH. That's the whole point. Like, you're supposed to smoke it at the ocean. And I was like, all right. Obviously, they were joking about that, but higher RH seems to do that cigar a little bit better. So I'm going to be trying that cigar at a bit higher RH, seeing if it's any different. But I'm interested to see how that goes, because all the ones I've had have been good, but I'm wondering if this one's going to blow my mind. But most likely not, because I'm already building up my expectations of what I think, how much better I think that cigar is going to be with the RH being a little bit higher. I can't say RH for some, I keep saying it and it keeps getting stuck. It's like RH, the higher RH. I'm already imagining how much better it's going to be because of what I've heard. So I think I'm just setting myself up for a bit of failure. For like over a year, I was using Invisalign braces. And I felt like when I would speak, it makes you slur your words, and like it just messes up the way you talk. And I always hated how I sounded with them on. But now that I'm not wearing them at all anymore, it's throwing off the way I speak. Like I got accustomed to having them in. It's so freaking weird. But yeah. All right, and I should probably get into the cigar right now. Again, this is an overview. I'm not a reviewer. It's not going to be a very thorough and very in-depth review. So if anybody's watching, they're like, damn, this dude hasn't started talking about the cigar yet. That's how this whole video is going to be. I will say that I'm a little bit underwhelmed so far by this cigar. Sometimes, like, when people retro hell, there's some people who do like a full retro, like the whole draw, and it comes out con fuerza, like it's like sharp, right? And I've never retro held like that. I've always kind of like let the draw out a bit, and then towards the end I retro. But if I really, really want to get good flavors on this, and I learned this, on when I hung out with Sal and Hound Dog, and we met and Marvin, there was really cool people there, and we all met this, I think he was a Cuban guy that works for Cohiba. Super cool guy, but I forgot his name. And he was kind of telling us how, like, you do wine tasting, you can also get like a better taste of your cigars. And one of the things he told us to do was like to hold the draw in and then let the retro out like really, really slowly, like it creeps out on its own. And when I do that sometimes on cigars, it's like completely different. I get a very, very like more pronounced flavors on the cigar. And when I do that with this cigar, it just makes the spice so strong. It really, really stung my sinuses right now trying to do that thing with the retro. Yeah, just spice. Leathery spice. Spice, it's just stinging. People didn't like the Chef Special 2024, but I actually liked it. I thought it was good. The first one I ever had was really good, and it was actually cigar number 2 after we smoked the cigar on Cigars Unbanded. We did the Unbanded cigar, and then for my follow-up cigar, I did the Chef Special, and I thought it was really good. Then the second one that I had wasn't that great, and then it's kind of been everywhere, but it's never been that bad. But so far, I'm liking it more than I'm liking this one, because this one is just leathery and just burny. See, so a regular retro on this cigar is a lot better. It's not so stinging, and I'm getting a little bit more of like a earthy, kind of nutty berry note. Like, this is the problem lately. Everything that, when I get like a sweet note in a cigar, it's always berry. I was saying this to the other guys. I always get like stone fruit. And then lately it's like berry. And it sounds good, right? Because berries are good and I like it. I just wish I would pick up something else, because the issue is my palate. It's not the cigar. It's my palate. Yeah, see, like that, it's starting to taste a whole lot better. There is something in this cigar that reminds me of the Sin Compromiso. The Sin Compromiso used to give me this weird, like, and this is going to be strange, but I've mentioned this before, like a potato chip kind of aftertaste. Like when you eat a Lay's chip, and then after, like, the taste that's left in your mouth, like that, I don't know, potato chip aftertaste. I kind of get that. Not strong enough to taste like the actual, like a potato chip, but I do get that like little bit of aftertaste. But yeah, there is something to be said about not like training your palate, right? I say that joking sometimes, like, oh, I need to train on my palate. But lately, like, it's really hard for me to pick up certain things on cigars. If sometimes I'm thinking about what it could remind me of, and somebody will say it, and it'll click for me, and it's like, there we go, that's what it is. Something that was funny was the other day I posted a picture we were gonna do the Cigars Unbanded live stream, and it was the unbanded cigar, and then for my second cigar, it was like a cigar that, you know, it wasn't a very good cigar. And Peter jokingly said, like, are you running out of cigars, Roger? Or what? Why are you smoking that for cigar number 2? And I told him, I'm like, dude, I can't get much from my second cigars anymore. I used to be able to smoke a Maduro, heavy cigar, and then smoke a light shade, a Connecticut. And even if, and I know Carpy always gets mad about this, he's like, bro, you're never supposed to follow up a heavy cigar with the light cigar. You're not going to taste it. And I get it. He has a point, but I was still, even if I wasn't going to get the full, like, effect or the full flavor of that light cigar, I would still get good flavors. I would still taste the difference. I would still be able to distinguish the first cigar from the second one. And even if I had a really bad first cigar, I could then turn around and smoke like a Martinique, a very light, smooth, nutty, sweet cigar, and I'd be like, thank God, this one is great. It's kind of getting rid of that old cigar off my palate. But lately, I can't do that, right? Lately, when I smoke the first cigar, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, then when I smoke the second cigar right after, I can still just kind of taste the first cigar. And that's what when a lot of guys would say, like, oh, I don't smoke more than one cigar because, like, it doesn't taste like anything to me. I still always think, like, damn, that sucks, man. I would hate to not be able to enjoy a second cigar right after, even a third. But right now, currently, I can't really, cigar number 2 is usually just a dud for me. And I think that's from me not smoking a lot. That's from me not being able to smoke as much as I'd like to. When it's funny because you hear people say, oh, if you can't taste much, take a break from cigars for a bit. Then when you come back to them, it's going to be great. And I do think there is some truth to that. But also, if you go too far one way, your palate kind of, you lose that ability to taste certain things on your palate. Maybe not for everybody. I'm just speaking about my experience that's happened. So ash just came off right now. It was maybe like an inch in. And that is one thing I noticed when I probed it. It was very loosely packed. It was very loosely packed. So, all right, guys. So far, not getting much. That little bit of a berry note that I was getting earlier now is gone. It's still just spice, leathery earth. Like, that's all I'm getting from this cigar so far. I'm going to go ahead and smoke this thing down, and then I'll check back in here when I get into the second third. All right, guys, so checking back in on the cigar. As you could see, it's way past the second third. I didn't want to check in because the more I was smoking it, I'm trying to find like something that I like about the cigar. And it's just, I'm not having a good time with this cigar. I don't know, it's weird because I know that last year's, like I mentioned, last year's cigar, I got a lot of hate, but this one to me is, I just don't like this one. I don't know what to say. I'm still getting mostly like that earthy. I am getting a bit of like an espresso kind of dark coffee note, but it's muddy. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a one-off because I've heard that this cigar is really good. I'm not having a good time with it though at all. Like a ton of leather, like burnt leather, barbecued leather. And still, when I try to do that slow retro to get like a really good taste, get the most out of the cigar to see what I can taste, it's just stinging on the sinuses. That's it. From the chef specials, 2023, the one that was like, what is a Figurado? I can't remember, but it had like an orange band. And that one was my favorite. I don't know if that's 23 or 22. But that one, I remember I smoked it and I thought it was really, really good. Now, there's another thing that happened with that cigar, which I think could have attributed to why I thought it was so good. And that was because it was partially not that it wasn't lighting properly. You know how when you take a cold draw and you get like you get a very distinct taste. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But for me, for the most part, cold draws never really translate to what the smoke's gonna taste like. But cold draws are usually good. They're usually nice. You usually get like a nice aromatic kind of whatever flavor from it. And I remember that cigar, because of the shape, when I lit it, it wasn't lighting very well and I wasn't getting good smoke production. But because it was not fully lit, I was getting the smoke and the cold draw kind of mixed together. And I remember it had such a strong, like, fruity and kind of bubblegum taste. It was very freaking good. Halfway through, the cigar lit completely, and then I was like, okay, it took a dip, but it was really good, and that's all that was stuck in my mind. But I'm pretty sure that was because it was like partially not lit completely, and I was getting some of that cold draw mixed in with the smoke, and it was a nice, a very nice, like a very nice taste. Yeah, like I'm getting hints of that, like an espresso kind of coffee, and that's pretty good. That's the only thing that's pretty good about this cigar. Everything else is just rough, muddy, earthy, and leather. And when I took the band off, the band was kind of glued on here. So when I took off the band, and I was really close to the ash was already close to the band, it like completely destroyed the cigar. I'm probably gonna get AR for showing the cigar. I mean, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's the wrapper's busted. I'm not gonna keep powering through it. I'm not gonna keep powering through this because I'm just not enjoying it. There's some cigars that when I'm smoking them, I know, okay, when I go inside, I'm gonna hear it because I could taste when the cigar is really pungent, really bold, really like has like a very harsh smell and taste. And when I go inside, my wife's always like, "Oh my God, you smell so bad." And it's like, okay, when I smoke an Atabe and walk inside, she never says that. And I know I'm not trying to compare this to an Atabe, but it's just some cigars are smooth and light, and even some dark cigars don't give you that pungent kind of smoke and like cigar ashy smell and taste. But this one is gonna do it for sure because I could already smell it. I shouldn't have worn I got my new Master Ash hat And I shouldn't have worn it because it's gonna stink now. But and I love this hat. This hat is dope. It fits great. You guys should check out Master Ash's channel and see if he has some more hats. I know the black and camel ones, he sold out quick. So still got a few hats on there if you guys want to check it out. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, it was not good. I didn't enjoy it. I'll have to revisit and see if it's any good. See if I get something different. Maybe the QC is off. Maybe I just got a dud. That's the thing with these cigars, right? Sometimes when I tell somebody that I don't like a cigar and they love that cigar, they feel really strongly about that cigar. And it does suck because it happens to me, right? A lot of people don't like Romas, but there's some Romas that I freaking love. And when guys don't like them, I'm just like, what? Like, damn, you're broken. You know, something's wrong with you. But it's just, you know, not all cigars are the same. You could smoke one and it's great, and I'm going to smoke one of mine. The only time I think we can get similar experiences, if we have a similar palate, is if we, like, both went to the lounge and both got the cigar from the same box. And we, like, you know, it's as close as you're going to get to it. But that's pretty much it, guys. All right, don't forget, check out Cigars Unbanded every Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's a fun show. We smoke a cigar unbanded. We're partnered up with Small Batch on that. You can get your Cigars Unbanded pack on Small Batch. Every time for the last two or 3 months that the packs have gone on sale, they sell out within a week, and they end up having they're able to get more, and they're able to put them on there. So if you haven't tried the Cigars Unbanded pack from Small Batch, go on there, check it out. As soon as they drop, pick one up, just try it. Try it for 1 month, and trust me, you'll like it. It's going to be fun. You got to watch the live stream on Thursdays. Follow along. It's freaking cool, all right? All right, guys. See you on the next one.